My name is Carl,
My name's Oscar,
and this is Who Would Watch This?
where we review bad films and decide who would watch this.
Well, apart from us.
Okay, Carl. That's right, I brought it back. What are we going to be reviewing today?
Today we're going to be talking about After! You know, that wattpad fan fiction. Woo! Currently has an IMDb score of 5.3, Rotten Tomatoes score of 19%, and a Letterboxd rating of 1.6. Oscar, what is the plot?
A young woman falls for a guy with a dark secret, and the two embark on a rocky relationship based on the novel by Anna Todd. That's perfectly... That's pretty, like...
That's pretty much it. I would say this movie doesn't have acts or any sort of thing.
No, I think it's just the second act.
It basically has a first act for an hour, and then it's just a third act little twist in the last 15 minutes, and then it ends.
It doesn't get resolved. It's just a big blob of a film.
I'm gonna say right now, I loved it.
I was... This is
frothed it.
This film I'm probably the angriest at. This film has made me pretty angry in every regard. And because the film personally mocked me, I can say we're going to jump into it, but personally mocked me. Okay, so before we start, do you have any, prior knowledge to this?
I picked this.
Yes.
Because in Australia, the second one has just come out. Mm-hmm. And it's doing well. So clearly there's a demand for it. I was shocked to see they even did a sequel, because I'd forgotten this film even came out. Mm-hmm. So I went, maybe I'll have a look. It has some awful ratings.
Yeah.
It's based on like a Harry Styles fan fiction. Like, it's just, I was like, there's too many good ingredients. I can't
chuck it in a bowl, see what happens, but you need to watch this.
But I didn't know the plot. I didn't know who was in it. So just shocked to find out they got like 7 degrees of a celebrity. They were like, we want this person, and then they just funneled their way back and was like, well, this one's kind of related to that person.
They're technically connected. That counts, right? That's audience retention.
It's just them like going like, hey, Catherine Langford, can you do this film? She's like, no, my sister might be able to. And being like, hey, Ralph Fiennes, could you do this film? And being like, no, but my nephew could. Could you imagine this film if it was Ralph Fiennes and Catherine Langford?
He would kill it. He would kill it. But I think it'd be more on the side of like the film would be like, oh, he's a monster, rather than the film going, you know what?
It loses
Isn't he dreamy?
It loses its cheeky turn when it's like a 55-year-old male abusing this girl.
Oh my god, could you imagine?
What about you? Any going in thoughts for the film?
No, I knew that Harry Styles fanfic existed. I didn't know how popular it was. Like I knew.
Oh, it's so popular, isn't it? It's insane.
Like this whole trilogy on Wattpad is like a billion reads.
Oh god, it's got, if you look at the 4 books on Wattpad or whatever, it's got well over 1 billion. Like the first one has 660 something million reads, which is insane to me.
That's insane. And I guess it's porn, yes, but like you'd think more people would be aware. I don't know, crazy.
Yeah, so I started reading it for research.
Yeah.
And I fell in love. No, but I did put a big chunk into the fan fiction.
God, how big is it?
So it's 100 chapters is the first one. They're not long.
Okay, so they're like 2-3 pages?
Yeah, each one's probably like a 4 or 5 minute read.
Gotcha.
And I read maybe like 15 or something. Just
hot? Question mark? I'm interested.
Oh god. Arousing, yes.
Yeah.
Hot, I don't know, sweaty, yes.
Good.
No, I would definitely say the big issue with that book is it's incredibly unpleasant to read.
Oh.
It's so uncomfortable and mean. It's just, the language is so violent and visceral.
But you're like the minority, because 600 million people have read this.
Like, it's
second to the Bible, I think.
It's the Da Vinci Code, the Bible, then this.
J.K. Rowling's desperate to knock off this as the third. She wants to be the fourth.
Oh god, she wants like her little, what are those like ones that she writes on the side under a pen name?
Oh, I can't remember. They're not. Yeah.
She wants like the Smutty Hollow or whatever it is.
I think the last like J.K.
The Gay Innkeeper. Something along those lines.
It's something like
Secret Vacancy. I've said 6 words, the title's there somewhere.
You as the listener can connect it.
But yeah, no, so we've got a handful of differences from the book to film that I'll probably pick us up on as we go through.
Very exciting.
So remember those. But yeah, look, we can jump on into this. I'm very invested. Are you excited for a sequel? Because I am.
I'm desperate for a sequel, and because you'll find out soon why we're so desperate for a sequel, but I do want to see what they do with this monstrous character.
We will also say, if you're a fan of the book or the film, and you're thinking we're going to be giving a fair criticism on this, we're not.
We're not.
We're not the target demographic for this movie whatsoever.
If anything,
and we will be digging deep into how absolutely atrocious this film is.
I think we're just going to be naming off red flags for for
so many
hour.
red flags. I think the issue that I have is, like, he's such a abuser.
Oh, let's jump into this fun mess.
But, like, the fact that 66... Like, over 1 billion people got invested in this hot story of, like, just a young girl getting abused.
Yeah.
Bizarre to me. They got behind and they were like, yeah, this is what we want in our content. And I was like, no.
Well, I don't mind on the internet, because it's kind of like, listen, on the internet, it's kind of like, it's porn. I don't really mind. Go nuts. But it's a bit shady. It's a bit gross. This film, however, it's a film. So it kind of becomes mainstream and not, like, hidden away. So when those, like, characteristics are put on screen, it's disgusting.
I am excited about the fact that the second one has violence in it. And the one that isn't Cole Sprouse.
Oh, Dylan's in it?
Yeah, he's the second love interest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go him.
Unless it is Cole Sprouse. I can't tell them apart. I watched the trailer and I went, immediately after the movie ended, I went, what's the second one about? And I was like, oh my. It's just like, whoa. It's more of everything, but nothing new.
I mean, it's just the kissing booth model, it seems.
Oh god, and I'm all about it. You know what? It was funny because I was looking at the comments on the YouTube, and it was like, see To All the Boys I Loved Before 2 and Kissing Booth 2, this is how you do a sequel? And I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Stop that. Let's get a third go. I think there'll be a third one for this.
Sorry, so they've got the third and fourth are in development.
Wild.
They're cheap movies. They've only done like 10 to 15 million on them. The first one grossed over 70, which is fine, but it's done even better on home sales and Amazon Prime, which is like what it's available on. So like, and it's got like a lot of reviews everywhere. So clearly people have caught on to it later. The second one didn't do as well, but that's it's in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah, I think
so
that's fair
I
enough.
I think we'll be getting a quadrilogy of the afters.
Wild. I'm so excited.
And maybe even the prequel called Before. Not a gag. That's an actual thing.
I don't doubt it. It's completely. Oh,
let's jump on in.
Let's jump into this hot mess.
Now, not to be nitpicky, but too many productions worked on the film.
Oh,
let's go into it. Voltage.
Come on, we only have an hour. We can't do this every single one.
Voltage Pictures has an opening that I thought was fun, followed by Maple Leaf Media, Diamond Film Productions, Offspring Entertainment, then Wattpad Studios.
Oh, I hated that.
Most of the film was I was like, and we're beginning another production title, okay, and another. All right, so Wattpad's a part of it, and I was like, is after the production title? Or, okay, no, it's started.
We've started.
Okay.
That's like 4 minutes in. You're like, I missed plot. Alright, so we're introduced to Tessa. She's a new girl starting university.
Oh, she is. And you know what? I'm sick of, like, people, like, the people in, what's it called? In, like, films having really... Look, I get that, like, you need to have interesting backdrops for, like, rooms and stuff, but... Characters have 2 interesting bedrooms.
Always.
She's in like this cool attic. It's like she's got a huge room, and I'm like, no, every room is white.
Yeah,
and it's a bed, and it's messy.
They're prison block cells.
Yeah.
It's depressing as shit. No one, at like 20, no one has the budget to invest this much into a room. If you have a really nice room, it means that you've put your money somewhere else. You're like lacking. You can't eat. Essentially, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You have a nice room. You're not eating. You have no clothes.
I'm sick of it.
I'm sick of it.
I'm absolutely sick of it. I also want to look on it. Good for this movie. It's shot like a film. I was like, wow. The picture's crisp and it's well lit. Oh, what a different film.
You know what's perfect for this? This film is like just like in every aspect, it's fine. So we can now talk for an hour about the horrible, horrible characters that are being placed into this fine film.
It's so many relationships confused me. I thought Noah was her brother when she walked out,
I did
right?
too, because they're very friendly, they're very cool.
And when they kiss to say goodbye, it's just really like a quick peck.
Yeah, it's like a love you.
And I was like, okay, so that's the brother, and then they have like a quick peck, and I went, oh, okay. And he was like, oh, I'm gonna really hate the drive home with your mum. And I was like, oh, maybe he's the gay best friend?
Yeah.
And then seconds later, the roommate was like, what's up with your brother? And I was like, oh, so we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
This is ill-defined and confusing.
Weird, yes. But then it's revealed that they're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah. So,
weird.
Wild. I don't think they have a good relationship.
No.
Already, you know what? Hate theirs. Hate the two of them. Hate their relationship.
Alright, so that's number one relationship we're not a fan of.
Yeah.
There will be many more to come.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
Also, I've got many mockings of Noah, who at one stage looks at the door and goes, 22. And then walks in and goes, hello.
Is this, Noah... See, I hated this, because I kind of thought I looked a little bit like him, and then I found out that the only reason he's in here is to be cucked. So I was immediately I was angry.
You do have his curls.
I do have my curls. Thank God last episode we established I have curls.
Oh, I know, right? Wow, if you're not listening to these in chronological order, you're missing out on a lot of plot.
Oh yeah, we planned these, we're a year ahead, we've scattered in, it's like a Marvel Cinematic Universe, but just kind of little tiny bits that don't pay off.
Yeah, that's right. As for who do I look like? Let's say Kenneth Branagh.
I think exactly. I'm glad
a young, rock-hard-abbed Frankenstein Kenneth Branagh.
I'm glad now people are like, oh, so Kenneth Branagh and a mop are sitting in a room, and that's who we're listening to.
Wow, so the director of Artemis Fowl and a shaggy rug. And this is the podcast.
That's it.
Oh, God. Anyway. This is one of the big first changes, the fact that in the book, her roommate's actually a male.
Okay.
Yep, so the author was like, so she has like a screenwriting credit, and she is going to be one of the main writers going forward.
Yeah.
Not a fan of when they get the author to write the script.
Yeah, I feel like...
I think it's only ever worked once with Gone Girl, because I think Gillian Flynn's a terrific writer, and she does do screenplays.
Yeah.
That's why she was allowed to do that. But I'm like, because I think the chick took over the 50 Shades franchise. And, like, Suzanne Collins kind of, like, took a lead on the final 2 Hunger Games.
Oh, really?
So it's just, like, I don't love... And J.K. Rowling has just not been able to do a good script with the last 2 films.
No, I feel like if you're adapting a screenplay, let someone interpret your work and make something else.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're sort of you're trying to fix little correct... It just doesn't
I think
work.
You're too close to the material when you're like, well, this is what I think is important, so I'm going to put it in. When you need somebody else to come in and just, like... be like, don't need this, unnecessary, like... That's what's great about those Harry Potter films, is that screenwriter who did, like, all of them but one knew what to keep and what to cut.
Oh, yeah. Peeves
Like,
got cut. Furious. But that's, other than that, perfect.
What's Peeves gonna add? Pet peeve? Oh, God, we're getting way off topic. Anyway, they mock her for shopping at the Gap.
Yeah, so that she's in a roommate with two... So there's a cool kid, and she's got... Are they lesbians? Because they sort of...
Yes.
So,
anyway, so because the author did the screenplay,
Yeah.
she said one of the things that she would change about the book is she wanted more representation, both female and LGBT inclusive.
Yeah.
So she was like...
Which normally is great, just don't put them in this, because it honestly brings down the
it's
whole
more
movement.
insulting, I think. Anyway...
Yeah, so she's met with her roommate. It's this cool kind of senior, and the mum is sort of like, whoa, is she smoking weed? I don't want you anywhere near her.
I'm marching down to get these room changes now.
Yeah.
You don't need a distraction. And I'm like, ooh, is Harry Styles gonna walk in? I think one of the things that also threw me was I hadn't seen the cover. So I didn't know who was going to be the Harry Styles.
No, because it sort of opens like with this like little sensual, like they're at a lake and you kind of get little bits of hand and a bit of thigh. You're like, ooh, who is he?
Because I just kept on being like, is he the Harry
Styles? Yeah, no, I was like, oh, please don't be the love interest. Please don't be the love interest.
And then the black guy turns up and I was like, is he Harry Styles?
Oh, it's such a shame.
I wish he was the main lead. He's great.
They
I hate the name.
Hate the name.
hate the name, love him.
Yeah, because they're just like, they're teasing you. They know that, what's it called? Hardin. Again, shit name, but that's the love interest. But they put Landon in there, just like, hey, he's a really okay guy.
Yeah, he's a nice, sensible, smart, funny guy. Also, if you want diversity, make him the lead.
Yeah. They do this in the kissing booth too. They have like these oh, they should be together, and they're like, no.
Yeah.
We've got
it follows that Wattpad formula of there's a gay relationship to the side. There's one person who is diverse, and everybody else is white
and horny.
They're white and straight and horny. Okay. Anyway, so she meets this guy outside of her first class.
Yes.
And they're both like, "Hey, are you early?" Yep. And then this guy comes in, opens the door, and is like, you guys are early. They sit down. 70 people sit down all of a sudden.
Oh my god,
Like, where'd you come from?
It was empty corridors.
Yeah,
like,
how are you guys all on time?
That's the third AD was like, fuck, I forgot.
Yeah. Run! Go! They storm in. But you know what? You know what threw me the most, and I actually think is the thing that I hate the most about this movie, is the guy that unlocks the door isn't the professor.
No, he's not. So I'm actually completely convinced it was the second AD going, where is everyone? They're late. Come on, guys. And then the third AD shooting up and go, fucking hell, move. He's got like a truck of people. He pulls down the truck. They all fly out. He's like, get into that fucking classroom and make the scene look nice.
Oh god, absolutely wild. Also, there is a part, because I think books are really important to this film. I do want to say her roommate mocks her and says, "Who brings books to college?" I was like, "How are you here?
How are you here?
How have you been getting
I've
through?"
been smoking weed and fucking eating puss. That's it. No books for me. I'm failing every class. I haven't fucking read a book in years.
I don't think I've ever read a book.
But let's just real quickly, I don't think anyone in this movie, except for Tessa, can read. I don't think anyone's ever picked up a book, read a book, or could read.
I don't think the author's read a book. She has the audacity to compare this to Great Expectations and Pride and Prejudice and be like, because she's like, no, I'm doubling down on the abuse because Mr. Darcy's abusive in Pride and Prejudice, and I'm like, not like this. not like this at all. It's ye old English.
They murdered people on the street. That was cool. I think he get away with it. But this film, I hate awful films that go, you know what, we're going to sprinkle in a classic book, so technically we're on the same level. It's disgusting.
They basically like want to set up the tone where they're like, if we compare ourselves to a similar thing, then people know what this is. And I'm like, doesn't help.
Doesn't help. If anything compares, they go, oh god, we've gone backwards, haven't we?
I would have loved it if the teacher came out and is like, shall we discuss Hermione and Ron's relationship? And she's like, yes, I think she's settled.
And then Hardin's like, I don't know, Ron kind of fucks though.
I don't know, I'm more into that Draco! Yeet! And then he just fucking disappears out of there like a gay magician.
It's tasteful, I can tell you that now.
Oh god. Anyway, so she has this awkward one-on-one meet with Hardin.
Yes.
Who's, oh god, I hate the name.
I hate the name.
It's so clearly hard on.
Oh,
like that's the thing.
Is that it?
Don't you think? Oh, there's no reason.
It totally is.
Yeah,
what
there's
kind
no
of name's Hardin? All the Hardin listening out there, fuck your name. We don't like it. But all these people, so Hardin.
Here's the thing: if you're named Hardin, your mum and your dad are sluts. They're horny little fucking sluts. You're named after an erection. Get over it. Go to the court. Change your name. I've called you out. Do it.
The podcast, everyone leaves now.
All our listeners in Quebec, they're just don't have to deal with this at all.
Oh god, yeah. Anyway, so we haven't really touched on Hardin. Who is Hardin, Carl?
Oh, okay. Hardin is like a scaly ghost. He's has not a good body.
No.
He's weird.
Yeah, because here's the thing. This film, because Kissing Booth, I didn't mind it because, Noah.
A hunk.
He's a fucking
absolute hunk.
He's a monster, but fuck
my
it,
God.
I don't really care.
Noah is a 10 out of 10 on the hunk scale. I'm telling you now.
If you want a visual representation, we've got a perfect one here. He's the little boy who plays Tom Riddle in Harry Potter. That's our actor. So imagine him grown up, muscly, But that's who we're dealing with
Also,
here.
couldn't understand a word he said.
Oh,
I was like, your accent's so thick.
Oh, because I think they've gone. All right, it's Harry Styles. We can't do Harry Styles, so it's Harry Styles. So
How much do you reckon they contemplated giving Harry Styles a shit ton of money to be in this? Do you reckon they were like, hey, we'll give you $10 million if you're in, like, a dump truck of money sort of situation?
I think it might have been talked about because
surely, because he'd done Dunkirk and stuff.
But Dunkirk's Christopher Nolan. This is smut.
Is that him though, being like, I only work with the best?
No, because I think
his agent would have been like, I'm not going to offer it to him, just going to put this in the trash.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in the bin.
I know I'm throwing out $10 million, but it's just going in the bin to save his career.
Yeah, because, like, I don't think they've ever talked about, like, the porn and, like, all the Wattpad stuff and, like, the, Louis and Harry thing. Larry, there we go. Yeah. I don't think they've like put a hard ban on ever talking about it.
I don't think to catch people up, the people might not be aware of the huge smut industry online that is just pairings of like male celebrities or like female male celebrities or female female celebrities. Like you can basically find a smutty fan fiction of any celebrity with another celebrity. Like somebody's written that.
Yeah.
And occasionally some will really go big.
Yeah.
And like they're the ones that are like, oh, this is big. And for some reason a producer's like, it must be the story. People like the story.
And that's the thing. This film has like pretty much missed the mark. Because imagine like smut plot with no smut.
Oh.
What's the point? Anyway.
Oh, absolutely shit me.
Hardin is probably one of the worst characters we've talked about.
Oh god, he is, because we talk about how Noah is an abuser.
Yeah.
Hardin is worse. Much, much worse. And doesn't even get, it gets a little bit physically violent, but his mental abuse to her is one of the most sickening things I'd ever seen in a film. I hated this character. I do not want her to be with her.
No.
Whatsoever.
At least,
whatsoever!
No, there's no redeeming qualities about this boy.
He doesn't do a single thing for her.
No, there's nothing good. Yeah. Let's just go through what he does. So, they meet at a part. So they do this weird bit in their class. They talk about Pride and Prejudice. Yeah. The girl's like, oh, it's a feminist novel. Good. Then Hardin's just like, I don't know, love's a made-up construct. Meet me after class and we can chat. And she's like, no, I don't think I will. She, like, for the first half is very much, and understandably, like, no, I don't want to talk to you. You're a creep. Then we get to a party. There's a truth or dare scene. She's like, Carl, did you know she's a nerd? She's a nerd.
She's a little fucking virgin is what she is.
She's a virgin. She doesn't drink. She's such a fucking nerd. But Hardin, he's the cool dude. Anyway, they're playing Truth or Dare at this party. And she gets dared to, like, hey, drink some vodka. She's like, but I've never drunk before. So then glugs some vodka.
Like, she Porky Pig. But I've never drunk before.
Are you calling women a pig? That's something Hardin would do.
Oh god.
Yeah. So this Truth or Dare scene, she gets like a swig of vodka and she's a little bit like, she's like so drunk. I don't know how she's this drunk.
So we also get introduced to Jace here, who I think is an integral character. However bad I think Hardin is, I think Jace is worse. He looks like a fucked up Backstreet Boy
who's done crystal meth and is 40.
Oh god, and he's like only eaten pure like sausages his entire life. Just slurped down minced frankenfurters. Just oh god, he's the most vile person I've ever seen.
I think there's the most vile group of people I've ever met. You've got Jace, you've got Hardin, you've got this like edgy e-girl that's part of the group. Yeah. You've got the roommate, which is probably...
she goes on to do much worse things in later books.
Oh, really?
And then I read somebody was like, oh, but she's totally redeemed in Before. I'm like, what is this?
If anything, it's not redeemed. That's before.
That was before. She got worse.
She's unredeemed herself. God. Anyway, yeah, Hardin has this British accent. Is it put on, or because he is English, but it's so like you got to talk like that? And
I think it's because it's pretty thick in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So my assumption is it's more like he probably amplifies his own
I feel like he's trying to mimic Harry Styles a little bit.
Maybe. Do you reckon he like put in a ton of effort and came to the audition and they were like, oh, if you squint, his body blurs a bit and you could think
got
it's
a lot
Harry.
of tattoos, just random junk on his
Because they
body.
dress him up like his Harry Styles in the film.
Oh, I hate the costuming so much. It's the most blatant. He's in all black clothes. She's literally in a white dress for one of the scenes.
Yeah.
And then she takes it off and puts on a black shirt.
Yeah.
Because she's corrupted by him and his evil ways.
Oh, God. Anyway, so she gets dared to make out with Harry Styles.
Yes.
Hardin. Hardon.
Yeah.
Hate the name. Hate it.
Yeah. And she's like, no, I don't wanna. And
Well, also, she has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
good on her for saying no.
For all of 5 minutes, and then she goes upstairs. I literally thought you were gonna call her mum, go, Mum, I'm drunk at the party. Can you pick me up?
I'm scared. Come and get me.
Anyway, she goes upstairs, and then Hardon comes. Oh God, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, she goes into his bedroom, and she sees he has books.
And she's like, "Oh, have I got him all wrong?"
No, you have not. You picked him straight off the bat.
And then comes out. He basically walks in on her, and then comes out the absolute horniest line I've ever heard in a film. He leans into her ear and goes, "Are we still playing?" "Are we still playing? Because I think you owe me a dare," or something like that. Let me do another read. "Are we still playing? Because I think you owe me a dare." And I'm not gonna lie, it fucking turned me on. I was like,
my
right.
clit was erect. I can tell you that now.
I was like, Hardin, I got a hard on.
It was written for us to mock. Oh God! So they make out,
Yeah,
and now they're dating.
yeah. Really weird. But
because-
also, during this, Noah's all like, "You've changed. You had a drink at a party during the texts."
Yeah, he calls her. He's like, because he starts negging her. She's like, "Whoa, you've changed. You having a drink now? Who the fuck are you? Don't call me back." 5 minutes later, text like, "Hey, I'm sorry."
I only had your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I think you're also abusing me."
Yeah.
Well, everybody just abuse. I think the mum's abusing her.
Yeah.
I think her boyfriend's abusing her. I think Hardin's abusing her.
The
I think the roommate is abusing her. I think that weird, like, Veronica chick friend is abusing her.
You know who's not? Jace.
Yes,
Yes, he is. My mistake.
The only person that's not is Landon, and
Yeah.
he's a fucking sweetheart.
Yeah.
And also, I know, probably not too far away from here, because they need more connections in this film, we find out that Landon is... And he's like, "Oh, what are you doing with Hardin? He's my brother." I was like, what?
Oh, I love this, because Landon is black, Hardin is white,
Yeah.
and I think Tessa kind of looks and goes, takes a poll and went, "How?"
She's like, oh. She tries to put it her own way, but Hardin's Irish and you're American.
Good save there, Tessa. Good save. Does it get solved? Because I don't really get how
So
they're
he's
related.
like, it's weird. So he's like, Landon's mum is marrying Hardin's dad,
Yes.
but also when we meet Landon's mum, she's white.
She's very white.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You couldn't get just another like black actor or actress to come in and just... It's like they were like, we want diversity, but like, we don't want it in the parents.
We've met a quota. We've got the one.
Yeah.
Tick. It's like, well, it's really bad. I can't believe they let this slide because it's not like.
I hate it. I'm not a...
I think it's Italian. Like,
Also-
it's bad. It's not.
She could be Italian, actually. It's like the director has taken I don't see color to a whole new level.
I'm so not racist that in turn I am now racist.
Because here's the other thing. Because Landon's like, yeah, me and Hardin don't get along. I think it's because Hardin's a racist.
Oh,
He
literally.
refuses to touch Landon at a scene. And I'm like, that's fucked up.
Oh,
Give him a handshake.
He's so bad. I'm almost certain he's like pissed that he's like now part of the family, so he can't say the N-word at home. Like,
it wouldn't surprise me.
He seems like the guy, doesn't he?
Hardin's the worst fucking person in the world.
I can't believe. I don't think you could write like a worse character this on purpose. I think, oh my god, it's insane. Okay. I hate him so much.
Also, you know what? Hardin looks too young. He looks 12. He looks so young. But also from glances, he looks 60.
He looks aged, but he looks so like he's out the wood. He's like Benjamin Buttoned himself a little bit. It's really gross. Yeah, because that's the thing. He's not like so attractive that, you know, I'm kind of like, because I don't know.
He's no Noah.
He's no Noah.
Look, I could take the abuse if it's Noah, but Hardin.
No.
Hardin.
Oh, gross.
I just want to specify Noah from the Kissing Booth, not the Noah in this film.
Oh, no.
I don't want a piece of Noah from this film.
He's foul and he looks slightly like me. I want to end it all.
You know what he does have though? Height.
Oh, God. Wow.
He's fucking tall.
He's freaky tall, isn't he?
He's freakishly tall.
He's got bad posture, so he's kind of got his head down.
Well, I'm convinced the sets were too small, so he had to put his head down.
He's freakish.
They were like, all right, we've based all the sets around people that are 5'9", and they were like, Noah's here, and he's like sitting on top of the house, and he's like, when do you want me to come in, director?
Let me crawl like a cat.
Yeah, it's the Hobbit set. Giving him the Ian McKellen role.
Well, they had to reverse it, like the Hobbits. So now all the Hobbits are big, and then Ian's small.
He's like
so
a small one.
They look fine.
Oh god. Anyway, so then Hardin's the worst because he's covered in tats. He's got piercings and rings.
Now he's like a mum.
He thinks thinks he reads. He drinks only black coffee.
Oh my god.
I hate him as a
aspect.
person.
Like, you've seen Lady Bird, right?
Yeah.
You know,
it's pretty much Timothée Chalamet's
but
character.
with none of the irony.
No, none of the irony.
It's awful. He's in all black.
Also,
all the time.
Timothée Chalamet much more attractive than him.
Yeah, very much more attractive.
Yeah.
Also,
you don't see this guy in Dune.
No.
You don't see this guy being the son of Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar. You don't see this guy getting fucked by Armie Hammer. You don't see.
But wouldn't we all want that? If Armie Hammer just fucking went to town on Hardin, that'd be a great 90 minutes. I'd wait if the third one's just
Call Me Hardin.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, so Tessa's just ignored every red flag.
And it's gone, I'll hop in a car with you for the day. He drives her out to the middle of nowhere, which I'm pretty sure is where the Zodiac did a lot of his killing and stuff.
He kind of looks like he looks pale.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can only imagine Fincher watching this movie and being like, I'm going to make him such a charismatic killer in the future. I'll get him an Oscar for playing a sociopath, I will.
Honestly, he was watching this go, fuck, I can't write that good. And he makes someone so unlikable. Oh, anyway, yeah. I want to say not first red flag, but about 40. But
oh god, we've had some... The first is... Oh god, I hate him.
I hate him so... It's so many times I go, I hate him. But yes, the first one Tessa ignores because she jumps in his fucking car and drives to the middle. I think they're like... I don't know where the university is, but they're in like a dense
literally
forest.
nowhere. If I had to throw a number out there, 8-hour drive.
Yeah.
That's a 16-round trip. It's a long day.
Oh god.
It's a long day.
He's like, I come here to think sometimes. Yeah. Oh.
So the sex scene at the lake is very famous in the book.
Really?
Because I think they fuck in the lake.
Yeah.
I don't know, I didn't get up to the lake scene.
God, I mean, like, germ-wise, you've got to have it clean out.
Oh, God. Like, there's probably algae everywhere.
It's a stagnant lake.
Yeah, it is. As an actor, I would have refused to swim in it, to be honest.
Honestly, I would be refused to be near Hardin. Because then... oh, God, there's so many things to unpack here. One, she asks, who do you love the most? He says, I love myself.
He pulls a Matthew McConaughey Oscar speech.
Oh.
You know who inspires me? Me.
I am my best... I'm God.
I'm my best self. I'm better than you, Tessa. Red flag.
Also, like, I don't really know much about music, but I just know wearing a Ramones shirt is like a red flag.
Ooh, it's not great.
No, it's not good.
It's not great. You know, here's a fun fact. 100% of murderers wear Ramones shirts. That's a statistic you can take to the blood bank.
Yeah, we don't need to fact check on that. That is just true. You know in your heart of hearts.
That's right. Hardin. You know when your Hardins are Hardins. Oh, I hate this name, and I hate this film, and I'm loving it so much. After they fuck in the lake, kind of.
I don't think they fuck, because later on there's a scene where it's kind of like...
They constantly are teasing the idea of fucking. I
Yeah.
think they decided to maybe leave the fucking to the end.
I think she like finally loses her virginity at the end.
Yeah.
So I think this is just a sensual nose rubbing scene.
Yeah.
Where he rubs his nose over her belly.
Oh, it's a weird scene.
I don't. Yeah.
I was like, I don't think the directors ever had sex.
No. No, because it's just kind of random shots of kind of rubbing on the nose.
Yeah.
And touch your thigh a little bit.
The director was like, everyone likes nose stuff, right? That's a thing. It's nose
jack
stuff.
off. Oh, this is probably the first time I feel sorry for Hardin, just because I feel sorry for the actors that are involved in like 4 of these scenes. I just go, oh. It must be a long day on set because there's so much B-roll
much.
Of just weird sex scenes.
And then we get to a point where I really turn on Tessa. She's at a diner.
Yeah.
She says, "Hey, I didn't order ketchup on this."
Yeah.
And sends her whole burger back.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know if it's different in America, but in Australia, you just ketchup's on you usually.
Yeah.
Like, it's on you to put it on.
I just feel, and like on the but just like
it's just a weird request.
Yeah, I feel like you should. I know she said it, but like
it really made me uncomfortable that she would do that.
It's probably the worst thing that happens in the film.
Yeah.
Easily
just from having worked in like customer service stuff, I can tell Tessa is a shit customer.
Oh yeah.
And that's
because even Hardin, with all the things we've learned about him, he's kind of like, did you just do that? Like, he's a monster. He's kind of like, whoa, bad move.
I then think he's even worse because 2 friends walk in, sit down with him, and he's like, hey, go walk away, Tessa. And it's like her burger's just arrived without ketchup, and he's like, don't eat, stand over there.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay, I'll do that because I love you. Gives her the keys. Don't know why to go stand away with the keys.
Yeah. I don't get it. Anyway, so yeah, then...
He also is like, during the diner scene, I was like, I don't like questions.
Oh, God, he's so bad.
He's like, I like to just learn people about... He's like, under their aura, or like sitting in silence, and she's like...
just absorb them.
I feel like the actress was like, bullshit, I'm just gonna ask you a fucking question. Otherwise, I don't know what else we'll do in this scene. She probably just filled the time with being like, there's no ketchup on this.
We can talk about that. He's like, I don't want to. Anyway, you're my keys. God. Anyway, yeah, so then the 2 friends arrive. They're so horny in this.
Oh, God.
The girl just starts licking his face, just like, hey, how you doing? Hey, what you been up to? He's like, stop it, babe. I'm not with anybody. Except Tessa, but probably not. Where's this scene go? Do you know?
Oh, yeah. So then so Noah's suddenly at college.
Yes.
And Noah spends like a day or a night with her.
Yeah.
They have a part where they're playing Kiss and Blow with a card.
Yes.
And it gets to Jace, who's sitting next to Tess.
Yeah.
Who then purposely spits out the card and is like, guess we make out now.
Yeah.
And Noah's like, no. And you purposely was like... just want to make I was like, what? It's very rapey vibes.
Oh, such.
And then Jace is like, what? It's just a part of the game. And I'm like, but you intentionally cheated to make out with her.
Oh, 100%. But then Hardin tops everything.
Yeah.
So Noah and Jace are kind of like biffing, and then fucking Hardin just in the corner with a black cloak. He's like sulking in the corner wearing his remote.
He's like on the verge of tears.
Oh yeah, he runs up and just starts beating the shit out of Jace because he might have. Oh God, it's the biggest red flag I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it's so bad. And Tessa's kind of like, that was hot. He stood up for me. Sorry, Noah.
Yeah.
What have you done?
Yeah.
Noah's like, I just talked to the man. I was so calm.
I was talking him down. This one resorted to violence in a near instant. I was de-escalating the situation. If there was a guy about to jump from a high rise, I would have been able to talk him down, only for Hardin to come up and push him off.
And then blame Tessa for it.
Yeah, because then Hardin's like, I'm gonna go home, smash up a whole entire fucking place.
Oh my God. And
leaving it for Landon to clean up.
Oh yeah, Landon pretty much, imagine like a small boy just brushing broken glass away. And then Landon's like, he's in there. And like...
Thanks for coming, I didn't know who else to call. And I'm like, oh, it's good that you got somebody to help come clean you up. And he's like, He's out of the pool.
He's like pretty much on the diving board with a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Oh, God.
And Tessa's like, you know what? I think I can save him.
She looks at it and is like, you know what? He's probably in a good condition for us to have sex. And I'm like, he's not. He's just done something violent, then smashed up a place, and he's very drunk, and you know that he's like...
Oh, God. And the worst part is, like, Landon's like, yeah, he mentioned you when he was destroying the house. Get out of there, Tessa. Get out of there.
He's also like, I'm a mess, and she's like, I am too. And I'm like, no, you're not, Tessa. You got your shit together. Don't demote yourself to him. You're a strong human being. You can get you've got such great things in store for you, Tessa.
Oh my God.
Tessa!
She's immediately corrupted by this evil university.
Anyway, so she then cheats on Noah, who's sleeping alone in her dorm room.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so wild.
So wild. But this scene doesn't have... So Noah's like, wakes up, he's like, hey, where are you? She's like, I'm sorry. Hangs up the phone, runs across campus, meets Noah.
Oh no, she bike rides back to
so-
Noah. Because the issue I have with this is she gets off the bike, Noah's sitting out front. Because here's what I said. I reckon during the night, he went, oh, Tessa, you're not, like, in the room. Walks out, immediately gets locked out due to those self-locking doors. Is stuck out in the middle of the night on campus being like, where's my girlfriend? She's fucking someone else on the other side of campus.
But not fucking, they're just touching noses.
They're just nose touching and nose swiveling down the chest. She then rides a bike back. Is like, oh no, Noah, I didn't mean to. Boom, Hardin's there.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, how did he get there?
Hardin's fully dressed.
Not sweaty. He would have had to have run faster than a bike to get there at the same time Tessa did.
But also, like, I don't know. Like, it feels bad, and I feel like Tessa would be a bad character, but she could very easily lie in this situation. I don't know how it's, like, accidentally they're all three are there, like, in a Mexican standoff.
Oh,
just, like...
He then is like, I'm gonna go. And I'm like, didn't you have you probably had an overnight bag in there?
Yeah.
You're just leaving? Just hopping in your car. Also, his car is parked far too close to the dorm. University parking is really hard.
Great spot. You know what? Noah's a great parker.
Also, Tessa doesn't really cry. I don't think she really cares.
No.
She doesn't even cry when she curls up with her roommate.
She's pretty much immediately over him because... I don't know why. Because, like, Noah's, like, a bit of a bad boyfriend. He's also younger than her. I felt a bit weird.
Also, Noah talked to her mum. The mum's like, hey, Noah told me what happened. Talk to me. And I'm like, what did Noah... Your daughter broke up with me!
That's what you imagine. It's very strange. You're like, are these guys... I do think they're brother and sister.
Oh, I think so
I'm gonna say it now. They're brother and sister.
Oh, God. Anyway, so... there's like, they do some... they like break into a library or something. They struggle to outrun, like the security guard.
Comically large, like it's like he's such a cliche of a security guard, like eating donuts. He's like, whoa,
what? Somebody in the lot, and I'm like,
his pants like falling down. Like, get back here, you crazy kids!
Can you imagine? Like, two kids have broken into a library to read and learn more in their own time
at the university.
At the university that's usually like a 24-hour library. And it's like, what are they causing a mess? Are they doing anything bad?
This is probably the nicest thing they do.
Wouldn't you come up and just be like, hey, what are you guys doing? They're like, oh, we've been sitting here for hours reading, and just been like, okay, I won't tell anyone if you don't tell anyone, and don't make a mess. Anyway, also it annoys me that Hardin didn't outrun them fast enough, considering he outran a bike in the scene earlier.
But he didn't outrun a bike. He got dressed and then out. Oh my God. He must be, I think he's magical. He might be a ghost. He looks like it.
They then begin to fuck again in their dorm.
Oh God.
The mum walks in and is like, this is who you swapped out Noah for? This Hardin boy? And I'm gonna cut you off!
Oh my God. No one's redeemable. The mum's just like, listen, I know university's really expensive, but you're broke up with a boyfriend. Like, why is she so invested?
Oh, I know. Noah's she's basically like, settle.
Yeah, settle immediately for this boy. You've gone to college.
Don't you want your children to have curly hair? Settle.
Tessa's made the right move. Get out of that relationship.
She's basically like, what are you doing? You can't do university and have a relationship.
Yeah.
And you're going to fall behind in classes. And I'm like, we have nothing to see that she's falling behind.
No.
Our assumption is she's doing well at uni. She's allowed to have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just cut her off for this.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna stop making you, like, I'm gonna stop paying your university, which is, like, in America, like, $100,000. Like,
Ugh.
it's such a burden to put on somebody.
And also, like, the mum just must be like, cool, I've got, like, $300,000 to play around with now. You know what I think? If the mum loves her so much, why doesn't the mum go date fucking Noah?
Oh, because it's her son. It's definitely her son. Oh, it's gross.
Can you imagine if that was a twist? At the end, it's like, Noah's your biological brother. Oh god. Anyway,
Landon's my biological brother, but he's black. No, his
I don't get it.
They're in an She's in like she's in the nicest university I've ever seen. They have an astrology like classroom with like a planetarium. And then Hardin like sleeks around the chairs, grabs onto her shoulder, goes, "I thought I'd find you here." Oh,
he's basically like, "You're learning." That's the line though. Like in her ear, "You're learning." It's so weird. I'd just be like, "Yes,
leave."
Oh god. Anyway, so they then contemplate moving in together.
Yeah.
So in the book, I think. So in the book, he like cons her into getting a lease so she can't leave him.
Oh my god,
which
really?
is so upsetting. Yeah, that's what that is.
This book, is it? Oh god, I hope that the porn's good in the book because it seems like they're monsters. It seems like a bit. It's like, let's make a movie with none of the porn and just the monstrous actors and characters.
Anyway, so then we get like, they move in together, blah, blah, blah. They then go to the engagement dinner.
Yes.
And this is where we find out Hardin's dark secret.
Yes.
Which is?
God. He's the most... It's so strange him like going emotional because it just seems so manipulative.
Oh, it does.
He's like crying.
He's like, this is the reason why I'm bad to you.
Yeah.
This makes it okay.
Yeah, so let me get it straight. So fuck this angsty fuck. He's like, his dad was a drunk. He's not anymore. Henchman came to his house.
My dad's a supervillain, and he pissed off the wrong people.
Henchmen come to the house, can't find the dad, and just beat up the mum. And then Hardin's just like, I couldn't stop them. I was 7 years old. I tried.
He's like, I was 8, and I couldn't stop them. And I'm like, you just ran up to them, and they were like, just pushed you to the side.
He was like,
or threw a red ball or some
He's
string.
like, I'm gonna so emotionally abuse women now because of this incident.
He's like, I watched his mum get beat up and is like, I'm just gonna do that to women too. I've learned that men should just emotionally abuse women. That's my takeaway from this scene.
The henchman have just caused this monstrous character.
Which then causes Tessa to go, wow, I know so much about you now. Penetrate me.
Should we dance?
They dance over a pool, they go back, they fuck.
They properly fuck.
Yeah, so Noah pulls out a condom. Yeah. She's like, yep, put it on. And I'm convinced he just sits it again to the side and goes in without putting on a condom.
He does this thing where he puts it down his like pants and then just kind of puts
He does it with one hand, and I'm led to believe he put on a condom in like 5 seconds.
Oh yeah.
No.
No way.
No. That's not how condoms work.
Unopened.
It's unopened. He must have used... You'd have to like try and bite it open, try and rip it up.
Yeah.
You probably, in biting it, have put a hole in it anyway, and then in one hand slips it on. And
he hasn't used a condom. Yeah. He has not used a condom.
Oh my god. Anyway. And that's, I think, another piece that's abusive. You can't just tell a woman you're using a condom and not use a condom.
Oh, yeah. Well, how many red flags are that now? 14?
Oh god. He is the worst human being.
Oh, so easily. I can't believe we're rooting for him. Anyway.
He's spelling on her back.
Oh, yes.
We don't get a payoff to this scene because it's like, she's like, what'd you write? And I'm convinced it'll pay off, and he's like, marry me, or something like that.
I think he said, I thought it was after.
I love you, maybe?
Thought it was yeah, I couldn't read.
Or he wrote after.
I think he wrote after.
Oh, that makes most sense.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be funny because he's like, oh, I've got an idea for just one more word.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be hilarious if he just drew it with his penis on her back. Just got up and was like... And she's like...
You pissing on me? Yeah, it's another red flag of mine. That's 17, Tessa, you dumb bitch. Just Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. Anyway, so we're an hour and 21 minutes into an hour 40 film, and you might be thinking, hey, there's no conflict. Well, get ready. Here's all of it.
Here's all... Because, yeah, it was 20 minutes. You're kind of like, oh, we should have had... Where's... I think the film again, 30, it was like, oh shit, there's no conflict. Let's go. Throw it in.
So what we find out via a phone recording by that bitch of a chick is Hardin going, you don't think I can do it.
At the Truth or Dare game.
Yeah, the Truth or Dare.
The film.
You guys don't think I can get her to fall in love with me. Well, I'm going to do it. Then switch it off like that.
Which is a reference to the Pride and Prejudice thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, a tight film with no ending.
Here's the thing. Caught me off guard.
I think that's the thing. This film, because we both felt like, oh, that's what a twist. Because normally it's a cliche, but I don't think it works because normally, like in 10 Things I Hate About You, 10 Things I Hate About You, or like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, they actually do fall in love, and you believe that, and then you're like, oh no, I really hope. That
they come around.
Yeah, that secret that they had at the start doesn't come back.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, I hate them, and I'm really angry that... So when this actually did happen, I'm like, oh,
good.
Great.
The relationship's over.
I think this film actually ended how I really wanted to end. Because then... Because again, we only have 10 minutes left, so I'm kind of like...
How are they going to wrap this up? How are they going to get back together?
So then she's broken, and Hardin's like, wait... I didn't mean it. I can't have feelings for you. Kinda, though.
I don't know. My hoodie. She goes crying, gets in a bus, goes home. The friends are so bad. The only reason they decide to spill it to her now is she's living with him.
Yeah. How
mean? The roommate even comes across bad here. And I was like, oh, the roommate was...
The only one nice. Also, real quick, there's this scene where the two are lesbians. Go nuts, but doesn't really ever come back.
No, we never really see the other girl again that she's in a relationship with.
Yeah. But anyway, so this is probably the most insane part of this film. She gets on a bus, is crying.
Yeah.
She then goes back to Noah. Noah's like, yeah, I forgive you. The mum, and she goes back to the mum. The mum's like, yeah, it's fine. It is what it is.
The mum's like, I told you what would happen, and when did I tell you? A long time ago.
And then it ends.
Yeah, it just ends.
Hardin.
He's like, I wrote an essay, and the teacher's like, I don't think this is for me.
No.
Also, tell Hardin he's failed the course.
Oh yeah,
because there's images in here too.
Yeah, it's like, hey, write an essay on Pride and Prejudice. He opens it with Tessa, I still love you.
He's like, Tessa, I love you your breasts. She's like, God, this is not for me, but I've got to mark it. Spelling mistake here. This is a run-on sentence. More, shouldn't be a comma here.
He's inserted all these, because he's got these pictures in there, but it doesn't look like consensual pictures.
Yeah.
Faraway great.
Oh, that's so bad. She's the teacher's done a marking on the pictures, it's a B. That's an A. Oh, if that was a little bit more in focus and you used a little bit more color here. I do love it because it's established he likes pictures when they go to the aquarium for a day, and they're like, wow, wow. Fishies, wow! And I'm like, these people aren't humans.
No, they're not.
Wouldn't you love it if his secret was that he was just a flatliner?
A flatline sometimes.
Because what did you think the secret was going to be? Because the friends were acting so shady. I thought that they all had to be dealing drugs together, or needed to be a group thing. I don't think
because they're so connected. They're kind of kissy. They're very horny together.
Something really.
I thought they murdered somebody.
Yeah. I thought it was going to get much darker. And it really... that's why it threw me off guard when it was something as simple you don't think I can do it, can you?
Yeah, pretty much it was just my mum died. But you shouldn't be this fucked up.
Well, I mean, I can get him being fucked up. I don't know why his takeaway was, just be bad to women.
Yeah, so bad to women.
I watched a group of men be bad to my mom, thus I'll do that, I guess.
I guess that's my thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so the film ends. She's like, I'm not taking him back. She's back at home. It ends how it should. This toxic boy does not get the girl. But there's a sequel coming, isn't there?
Oh, there is. But she does go out and sit in a lake.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, Because I guess that spot's her favorite spot now. Even though it's his favorite
she
spot.
drove 9 hours to get to that, and also he was there. Went, hey.
He doesn't say. He goes up, and then like the voiceover comes on, and it's just like, "I love you," and then it just cuts to the credits, and it's like, directed by the name.
Oh, real quick, the soundtrack is fucking atrocious.
Oh, it is. Oh, when she finds out about the debt, it's like horror strings.
Oh my god. She starts like they do that echoey thing,
Yeah,
like she's
she's
in a
like
war zone.
flipping out, and he's like, Tessa,
Wake up!
Tessa!
There's been a bomb.
You're Private Ryan. We're trying to save you. Oh god. Anyway, I was like, it's a very unfulfilling ending.
But it's real. It's what would happen because I can't fault it for that because I feel
like a better ending would be if she killed him at the lake.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
Sorry, I thought the whole tone of this was very Midsummer. And in Midsummer's great because all the kind of douchey guys die.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one...
Well, it's like, yeah, Midsummer's so cathartic.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, she was able to escape this, like... And you know what was good in Midsummer was, like, he wasn't an obviously abusive boyfriend. No. He was, like, this uncaring, manipulative... Like, it was a very real sort of casual abuse that he was, like, laying on her about forgetting about the birthday and turning things around. But he was also a shit friend.
Yes.
And things like that.
And as a result, he dies because of that.
Yeah. Right.
And, like, great.
Yeah.
This one... yeah, I wish he was burnt in
oh,
a bear
God.
suit.
I thought
that would have been probably the greatest film I've ever seen. If you put this character and then just kill him.
If he sat down and then she just started pouring gasoline on him and threw a match... I guess he'd just jump into the water.
Yeah, damn, Hardin thinks of everything, doesn't he?
I would have loved it if it was just like, he had like a cinder block tied to his legs and she just kicked it off.
Would have been lovely.
Anyway, that's after.
That's after.
Alright, Oscar. So, who would watch this?
Who would watch this? Do you want the fun answer, or do you want the genuine, legit answer?
Let's cycle through them, let's do it.
Well, I was talking to a friend that works at the cinemas, because we did say this film, the sequel's doing quite well.
Yeah.
So he was telling me what the demographic was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just 16-year-old girls. And I'm pretty sure, with like 1 billion reads online, and... most of it being in English, I think just secretly most people in the world have read this.
I have.
Yeah. And just out of curiosity, people watched it. Like, I don't think anyone's really going in it with like, I think it's like 50 Shades of Grey, sort of that sort of cheeky, like, oh, you know, it's porn, let's watch it with your gal pals. That's who actually would watch it. Bit of a fun one. If you've been called a misogynist in your life, if females consistently keep telling you you're sexist and a monster, don't worry. This film has a character that's, I promise you, worse than you. So there you go. It's a bit of an ego boost.
I think if you are, if you're a bit of a prude and you don't want to watch porn, but you want to get hot and flustered and you want to whip your shins out and give them a rubbing, I think After is for you.
That's the thing. It's barely smutty.
It's barely, but it's like one of the ones where I feel like if you're just very Christian or something and you're like, oh, I saw the naughtiest film the other night. They rubbed noses all over each other.
Your gal pals at church. I was like, oh, ladies.
Oh my God. I was like, I hope Jesus doesn't see we almost saw a little bit of underwear butt the other day. They were like, I know, doesn't Hardin sound like hard? I know, like,
this is a good Christian place.
And then the priest was all like, hey, I do more awful things.
And then we bring it back to religion.
That's right. We're getting political. As for who else would watch this, I think, here's the thing. I think, you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable in your real life relationship. Grab a pen, grab a notepad, sit down, watch it. give your little pad a tick anytime Hardin does one of the things your boyfriend does. And if it hits, say, 1 or more, break up with him.
That's it's such an easy checklist.
I think if you maneuver this film in the right direction, it's educational. So, believe it or not, I think this is where the people that want to be educated and the Christians coalesce.
Is this what Mother wanted to be, but then failed on both sides?
Had Hardin been played by Javier Bardem,
which I think he would have won an Oscar for.
Oh god, I think he would have absolutely crushed it as Hardin. I think that's it. I think, in all honesty, though, yeah, it's definitely like the under 18 crowd, but over 15 crowd.
Yeah.
If you've read it, you've definitely probably wanted to give this a bit of a geese.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people have been like, oh, I want to spend money and watch that at the cinema, or I want to watch that full film. It wouldn't surprise me if a lot of people were like, oh, I remember that dirty chapter, and I just like watch a clip on YouTube to see that play out.
Apparently the Amazon sales are through the roof.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder how many reviews it has on Amazon. Amazon actually has like a good aggregate where it's like 30,000 people have reviewed it. I'm like, what?
Oh god, it was popular.
Yeah. So yeah, doesn't like surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me if they decide to like sell this to a streaming company or something, because it's definitely not of cinema quality.
No.
Is my
I'd feel
opinion.
pretty like it's just like a bit of a fun thing to go with your friends and watch and kind of mock.
Yeah. Did your girlfriend watch this with you?
No. She wanted to. We might go watch the sequel in cinemas.
Oh,
very
cute.
tasteful.
And I'll third wheel with a notepad. I'm gonna go take notes
with a head torch in the cinema. Shh.
I can only imagine you'll have to go in and explain to her the entire plot and have to be like, nothing really happened and then he did this.
Oh, that's you've summed it up. Hey, this monster on screen did a really bad thing and it didn't get resolved. We're here now.
And then your girlfriend's gonna be like, but you're Noah. You're in the film.
No,
How'd you get up there? You're here.
No, I'm Landon.
But yeah, all right, Oscar. You got a little palate cleanser?
I do. I do. Because last week I felt dirty because I didn't actually watch anything except for Ballistic Eats vs. Sever. So I watched Ghost World. Have you heard of this one?
Oh yeah, it's the Scarlett Johansson one?
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
It's fantastic. It's like a 2001. It's done by Terry, I'm going to mispronounce this, Zed Wigoff.
Mm-hmm.
Zed Wigoff. Yeah, I really loved it, honestly. It gives me like very like election vibes. It's about these two sort of loner two girls who've just left high school. And they're sort of like, they're like ironic, they like hate everyone, it's all this sort of fun stuff, and they've got like a plan to like go out into the world. And they start like, they just like fuck around with people. And they meet Steve Buscemi, who's this sad loner who's put like an ad in the newspaper to find a girlfriend. And they fake call him.
Aww.
Yeah. And like stage a fake date for him to come to.
Not Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, it's really crushing. And Steve Buscemi sits at the diner, they watch and mock him. But then the main girl, that's the thing, they're so unlikable.
Was this the first act?
Yeah, his first act.
Oh.
Yeah. But then Edna, the main character, who's not Scarlett Johansson.
Not Scarlett Johansson.
I know, right? She is a background character in this.
Wow, wild.
Yeah. But she sort of starts to like get to know him, and it's just sort of like, he's just this similar sort of like an artist, this kind of loner, so like passionate about like 1930s jazz sort of musician, has like a trillion records.
He's very Ryan Gosling. It's just where Ryan Gosling's character goes after La La Land.
Yes, this is it. Ryan Gosling if he looked like Steve Buscemi. So this sort of stuff. And it kind of just evolves around that, and it's just like this. Does
it like climax well? You've sold me on it. I'll give it a watch. I know it's supposed to be. It's based on a comic book, right?
Yeah, it's based on a comic book. I had a look at the comic book. It's just like amazing. The casting, what they've done. Is precise. Like it's like
Steve Buscemi's character's got those like bug eyes.
Yeah, they're like, wow, Steve Buscemi, great at this. It's just like a really nice, like sort of like, you know, that sort of like American Beauty, like election, like sort of just late 90s where like nothing was really wrong in America. So everyone was bored, and as a result, boredom was like the motivation for most movies. Yeah. It's that kind of thing. It's just like teens and this old guy sort of living in like a very boring part of like...
Was it like Napoleon Dynamite-ish?
Yeah, that kind of vibe. Yeah. But it's got like, honestly, like, it's pretty... it sounds like wanky, but it's like it's just such a nice.
Why is it called Ghost World?
I think that I looked it up. The director sort of was just like, it's, you know, the sort of 90s where like pretty much all of America was becoming just like so corporate and just like this little sweet little town has become like, it's got like a Starbucks. It's got like, it's just pretty much like a ghost of its own self.
Yeah.
And like it's such an empty world, and that's the sort of world that these guys live in.
Okay.
I really adored it. I think all the characters are fantastic. All the little side characters are fantastic. Yeah, really loved it.
Nice.
I think it really, there's little like artistic sort of like messages that I think most of them really work. I love them all.
All right, sell me on it. I'll give it a watch.
I'm a big fan.
I'll definitely give it a watch.
After this, I think I'm gonna watch Crumb, his like earlier documentary about this controversial
crumb.
Yeah.
It's a racist, homophobic piece of breadcrumb. It's just...
I don't like the Jew. I'm a breadcrumb. And probably give Bad Santa a rewatch. I feel like I didn't.
Was it the director of Bad Santa?
Yeah.
I love Bad Santa.
Yeah. It's very funny.
I watch Bad Santa like every Christmas.
I need to like properly like watch it.
Yeah. It's very. You know what I think it takes you off guard with being. I haven't seen Bad Santa too. But like, it's very dark, Bad Santa, and I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's going to be a comedy farce."
Well, that's what.
And it gets violent and depressing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember seeing the poster. I saw like a guy in a Santa Claus and like that midget that was all in those like 2000s films.
And like Bernie Mac.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
was
just
kind of like, oh, I kind of wrote it off, but now I'm like, oh, maybe it's got like, because it's fantastic.
Yeah. Bad Santa makes me cry.
Perfect.
So
keen to give it a watch.
Yeah, terrific.
You, Carl, what was your palate cleanser?
I watched, and I don't know if I've already talked about it on the podcast, Boys in the Band. Is that, yeah? Okay, cool. Boys in the Band is like a new Netflix one that I thought they were going to position for like Oscars, but they haven't. I thought it was very good. It's a new kind of like, it's a adaptation of a Broadway play, which was written long ago. It's kind of been recontextualized and rewritten for like, to have like more like modern like sensibilities, I guess. It's set in like I think the 60s or the 70s after kind of like, it's an all gay cast. It's got like Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory and just like a lot of like kind of famous gay people. Like one of the main characters from the original Book of Mormon, the American run.
Oh yes,
you know him. He pops up in lots of things.
He plays He's in Is he in Frozen?
Oh, he looks like him, but it's not him. Yeah. But I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, it has like a big cast, and it's basically all of these gays come for a birth. It's got like Zachary Quinto and stuff in it too. All these gays come for a like a birthday dinner. Things are going fine. They're having fun, and then like the main character Sheldon is basically like, "Hey, my roommate from college who doesn't know I'm gay, doesn't love gays, doesn't know any of you are gay, is going to pop in." And
that's like, a great premise.
And so he does, and is like beginning to suspect things, and things are a little bit like uncomfortable, and then slowly it kind of gets a bit darker, and it turns into this very bitter, sad game where they're doing a drunk thing for points, which is essentially they all have to call up the only person they think they've ever truly loved and tell them they love them. And it's just like each one of them kind of doing that and getting either rejected or kind of getting a little bit more. It just gets very dark. And
are these gay characters calling up males or are they calling up female?
Males.
Like, males.
Yeah.
So it's like
and then they're kind of like playing around with, and it's kind of got every sort of demographic of like homosexual. And it's got the like the young, fun one, the old, aged one that didn't really come out till like all these different kind of like demographics through it, and they all kind of like have an interesting interplay. But yeah, I thought it was a really good, and in terms of like adapting a play, like terrific in terms of making it like cinematic. Has great cinematography considering it's like a basically one bedroom apartment sort of setting. Camera's always moving. It feels dynamic. It's like the complete opposite of Fences, which is one that I'm just like,
it's just a stagnant camera. I'm not seeing.
It's just so boring the way it's directed in terms of just like they're on the back of a garbage truck for what feels like 15 minutes chatting, and I'm like, go anywhere else. Move the camera. Do something.
Make it a sweeping shot.
But yeah. Anyway, I thought that was fun, and I thought it could probably get like some supporting actor nominations, but Netflix is doing its thing where it's like, we don't advertise anything and we just put good content out, but like Adam Sandler has a new film, so
Yeah,
we'll support that more.
That's gonna make.
And I'm like, then why'd you fucking produce this then?
It's there to watch in 3 years. Go, oh, that was good.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my recommendation for this
Nice.
week. I thought
What
it was.
What was it called again?
It's called The Boys in the Band.
Nice. What would you give it out of 10?
Like an 8?
Nice.
Yeah. What would you give Ghost? Well,
I wasn't fishing for that. But I would give it an 8. Maybe a strong 9.
ooh,
Yeah.
8.5.
8.5.
We don't allow that.
We can't do that. That's going to round up or down.
It's either a strong 8 or a weak 9.
Yeah.
What do you want it to be?
I'll go strong 8. I'll go strong 8.
Mm.
I'm very committed to strong 8.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, then. Well, you can see us next week in our spooky episode for Halloween when we review the Blumhouse classic,
Truth or Dare.
Be There or Be Square.
My Majornaire.
Wear your underwear.
All right, goodbye.
Alright guys, thank you for listening. Tell your friends about us. Maybe one day we'll read out your weather. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube.
And if you have a film you'd like us to review or questions you'd like to ask, email us at askwwwtpodcast@gmail.com.
You can leave us 5 stars on iTunes or any sort of praise anywhere. It helps new listeners find us and our egos grow.
Alternatively, don't do anything and see if we care.
Yep, ball's in your court.
Thanks for listening.
See you next week.